Hello all, welcome back to the channel. I haven't posted a video for a little while and I just wanted to show you my latest project. It's my unique design on a hand block plane, and this is the box I've made for it. Has this crackle effect to the finish. Push to open lid, which is removable. And then inside I've made this logo. I'm calling it the Phantom. This is a prototype plane. This just lifts out like so to reveal the plane inside. The plane's held into the box with magnets, and then this is just a little card that I've made. It just sits inside the box like so. And this is the plane itself. Just move that out of the way. So like I say, it's a prototype plane. It's my own design on a block plane. It's made from 01 tool steel and bronze. This is a bronze sole. It has a bronze lever here and ebony infills. It's an ebony wedge and an ebony front infill. 01 tool steel blade. It has a bronze insert here that the standoff here goes into, and then this piece around here is solid tool steel, which is, you can just pick up the pins there that fix it all together. And this is for adjusting the depth of cut, so it's manually adjusted with a mallet, so you strike the back to increase depth of cut, or you can hit this standoff backwards to decrease depth of cut. Being a block plane, I've left the mouth quite wide, which is a trade-off in finishing. It's not like a mitre plane that would be like a final finishing plane, which would tend to have a very fine mouth, which limits you on depth of cut. But as I wanted it to be a block plane, I left the mouth slightly wider so you can take deeper shavings and heavier shavings. And this is a offset cam that secures the blade and wedge in place. So as you turn it, it puts pressure downwards onto the wedge. This is the blade. And back here I'm paying homage to the greatest sword maker there ever was. If you know, you know. And again, I've electro etched this into the back of the blade. Same with this. Electro etch my name here. And the wedge just pulls out of the back. Again, quite a unique shape of wedge for how this offset cam works. This is a piece of stainless steel that's inlet into the ebony here, and again a bronze cam there. So as you turn that, like I say, it pushes downwards onto the wedge and secures the blade in place. And I've put the logo inside here. And on the opposite side is my name. This is rounded in front here. It actually makes a nice place for your thumb to go. It's quite comfortable on top here. So I wanted to, as it's a block plane, I wanted to be able to use it single-handedly, so you can hold it like so, and your finger's got a nice place to rest in here. Or you can still use it double-handed. swapping around like that. And, unique shape on the front of the plane. Like so, and I liked this, I wanted a brushed finish on here, but on the edges of the plane I've put these tapering bevels, both sides obviously, and they taper away in all directions here, and I polished those to a high polish because I thought the contrast looked really nice. So it's an angular plane. It looks like it's sharp and uncomfortable, but when it's all together, this plane, the wedge actually goes in first, and the blade follows in behind it. And because of that offset cam, the way that works, it has to be done in that order. But yeah, once it's all together, I've obviously put these large bevels around the back of the ebony infill, and it makes it actually very comfortable to hold. It rests nicely against the palm here, and again your finger, or at least for my hand, fits nicely up the front here, or if you want to use it two-handed, again the palm of your hand rests nicely on the back here. Again, it's all chamfered away, take away any sharp edges, and your fingers can pinch here nicely. So yeah, that's what I've been busy working on. I'll set up some pieces of wood in the vise and show you it working. But yeah, as always, I'd appreciate any comments and feedback. Okay, so I've got a piece of sapele here. And use it two-handed, or you can come up higher on the plane. Use it one-handed, like I say, being a block plane, I wanted to be able to use it single-handedly, so your finger fits naturally in the front there. So yeah, plain that lovely. Also a little scrap of oak here. Trace the grain on this. That way. Lovely shading. Yeah, looks lovely. And then I'll also have a piece of hard maple here. Again, this seems to be quite a dense piece of maple. Clean that lovely. And again, just a little piece of paraffin wax on the sole. You've seen me do that before, and that just really makes such a big difference. especially when you're planing harder timbers like maple. So yeah, there's that, and then I haven't got any bigger pieces of wood here, but just to show you plain end grain. No problems on end grain, even with the wider mouth. Okay, a little update on the plane. I've been using it for several weeks now, and I'm really pleased with how it's performing. My initial idea of having it as a block plane with a wider mouth, so you could take heavier cuts when required. On reflection, I think it's actually going to work better as a finishing plane. Because it's a low angle plane, it's bedded at 8 degrees with the standard 25 degrees on the blade and a couple of degrees for the secondary bevel. Its angle of attack is actually around 35 degrees, and what that means is it pushes through the timber easily, and when planing with the grain it gives a lovely finish. But if you come up against a timber with interlocking grain, or if you are planing a figured piece of timber, it can introduce a lot of tear out. So what I wanted to do was close the mouth down to help prevent tear out, but at the same time I still wanted the ability to take deeper cuts when required. So in order to resolve these issues, I've added a mouth plate to the plane. It's made from tool steel, the same as the sides, and it sits into a dovetailed groove, so it can't fall out of the bottom of the plane, and it's also flared at this end, which when pushed in locks it into place. And what this allowed me to do was to reduce the mouth opening to help prevent tear out. But at the same time, in the box I've also made a tool to remove the mouth plates and 2 extra mouth plates. This one is the wide, this one medium, and in the plane is the narrow. So if I wanted to take a heavier cut, what I can do is back off the blade, and then using the tool I can remove the narrow plate and easily insert the wide or medium, and it pushes into place, again just using the tool. Now I have a wider mouth opening and I can take an increased depth of cut. So while it's not as quick to adjust as some of the lever type mechanisms, it has the benefit of no moving parts, which can cause sole flatness issues, and it still only takes a couple of seconds to swap a plate over. This modification now allows me to set up the plane perfectly for different planing tasks. While it was timely and difficult to do, I think it was worth the effort. I'll show you now planing some more timber. Okay, so I've got a piece of oak in the vise and I've installed the narrow plate back into the plane, and I'll just set it up now. I found the easiest way to set it up is to insert the blade, and then using your thumb back here you can push the blade forwards and backwards, and looking through the mouth you can see the opening, and then when it's about where you need it, just push down on the lever to lock the blade in place. So I'll plane this piece of oak now. Lovely cut there. And I think that's planing against the grain, and let's give a super smooth finish. Just flip it over. See how it planes this way. Okay, so no, this is actually against the grain now. But again, super smooth finish and no tear out at all. So that narrow plate is working just as intended. And I'll just flip this round to plane a bit of end grain. Because there's no trouble planing end grain either. So there you go, I'm calling that the end of this project. I've had a lot of fun building this plane, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers!